4:31. The board's in session. Trustees Mrs. Robles, Ms. Solis, Mr. Uxer, and Chair Farrell are present.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have anyone here to speak under open forum? Do we have agendas?
You know what, I left them on my desk.
They were somewhere there. We can go to commercial.
It's a
Should not
timeout.
anybody else say hi to
Yes, it is. Oh, okay.
I'll bring it to Taz's attention.
The
note of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But the agenda's in the book.
Okay.
No?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it is. Only here, not ours.
No, but it was the one that I was
For you,
sent at my home.
relate to you just as a spouse. That's right here. It's not in my. No. Pretty good. Right. And-
That's right, because it says 4
Right,
o'clock.
Dr. Pagel, I asked her, how's Dr. Faria, is it relate to you? She
There's a
says,
typo in that one.
yes, it's okay.
Oh, this is for March 28th. Oh,
Okay, okay.
March 29.
no, mine says 28. That's my meeting.
Yeah. Interesting. That's good.
But no,
So it'll be a lot easier to push it. Okay. Because this was just this
We did, what we're asking for is that we approved it based on the lower bid. Like he needs it. Entrance. We're asking to go back and
Oh, now we have to.
Yeah.
The budget.
We're taking it from, okay.
Good.
there's issues in that side county. We'll discuss that.
It's so weeks. See, okay, I can see it. It's amazing you told me that, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. They ready? Okay.
Is there anyone here to speak under public comment? Rick, we have a chance.
So one of the items, obviously, is of concern is what we're going to do about parking while this construction takes place at Rio Grande. So what we're basically going to show you is what we propose the arrangements for this parking. And so this is the site right here, and the actual construction site is going to take 90 parking spaces away. The contractor material storage and staging area, which is basically where they lay down all their materials and they put cranes and things like that, will take out an additional 44 parking spaces, including 10 accessible spaces that obviously we'll have to replace. So the total spaces literally in construction that we'll have to replace, I'm sorry, can you see it? It will be 134 spaces. So we start looking at the surroundings and see how we can circumvent this and hopefully help make up for that amount of cars, parking spaces. So there's this lot here. It's a very small lot. You'll yield 14 spaces, but the problem with that is we'll have to pave it, so it's additional cost. And the sunset.
No.
Yeah. So that's why it has an X on it, because that's really not feasible. The other one is we can restripe and provide 10 accessible spaces along the main entry here on Rio Grande. And so we can then balance out the accessible spaces. The 10 we're taking away, we can introduce them back in there. So, but it still does, if that standpoint doesn't net us any more spaces. We're just making up for the accessible spaces. Now, KTSM in April will make 77 parking spaces available. That's where that D is. So it leaves us with a net left to replace 57 parking spaces. The thought is that we can go to St. Patrick's or Trinity First for the total amount of parkings required. One of them has 108 parking spaces, the other one is 91. So either one of those two would work. So we,
Wait, can you go back? So, I mean, Trinity First, where are their parking spaces? Because my daughter went to school there,
Uh-huh.
and there's parking, just dropping off children and then picking them up. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know where people would park.
okay.
Do you know?
I'm not aware that, you know.
Do they have an additional parking lot besides the main one facing?
There's an additional one down the
Mason?
street, I guess. There's another.
F is Trinity.
So
Let me ask you this.
maybe we go to E.
Since you're considering going outside the immediate area,
Yes, sir.
we had the Stanton building. The Stanton building has significant parking space. I don't even see it as an option. Was it
Well, you
considered?
gotta cross Mesa.
Well.
You have to cross
I mean,
Mesa
we're
here
gonna start
too,
crossing the streets anyway,
It's
what they're
much,
proposing.
it's much further down the way. We're not sure if El Paso Independent School District is doing.
But no, we're
We
just
did
saying you
discuss it.
haven't considered it.
We did discuss it. We discussed it.
Then is there another slide to tell me that it's further away?
We didn't believe it was feasible. Talking with staff, we didn't believe it was feasible, and since El Paso Independent School District has taken it over, but.
I guess it was farther away, and we consider that the closest to the campus was the better option, but obviously it's on the table. We can,
I don't think it's all that much further than,
It doesn't look like that on the map, but having walked it, it feels considerably further than the ERF. In both cases, you have to cross Mesa, so it feels a lot further. Because you see it right above.
this is a health science center, and if they get more exercise by walking,
There you go.
it would be
Well, it's
located in
not
Can
just-
Corner to E.
Yeah, not adjacent.
In the trolley, doesn't go big loop, they couldn't get a trolley on Stanton and get off, change trolleys to come back to.
Well, it's E, but it's to the right of E, right? When that empty spot.
Right into the left corner.
Right, I mean, that, where the brown is right there.
Well, that's
That's-
the jerk lot.
All right, that's the dirt lot, and then where's the actual Stanton Street building? Can you move your point?
No, unfortunately, this is like a screen capture, so I can't.
if you
But
go
I
to
could
the
Google-
very
I could
upper
Google.
right-hand corner of E,
You want Google Maps,
And
yeah?
cross the street, so you're crossing.
yeah, no,
One,
move it
two.
over, move your cursor over a little bit to the right.
I'm gonna Google.
Yeah, this is cropped, so we're gonna go to Google Maps and bring that up.
But,
Yeah.
but have y'all checked into, I mean, with Trinity First, how much it would cost to lease and if,
They're
This
not gonna
is
do
just-
anything until the board authorizes, so they're really just presenting options to the board. Once the board gives us direction, and the direction of structure could include going to EPISD and approaching them and looking at Stanton as well. So really, this is just the first,
but the question is, so do they even know, I mean,
You can go
the
to
way they
3D,
present,
might
the
be a
information
little
is being
better.
presented is that they looked into it and the lease is viable.
The committee.
if a lease,
See, that's
sharing
all right.
agreement could be
Those
reached.
ideas.
Right, this is just, we're bringing forward to
That's
the board due
standard.
diligence that we understand we're gonna lose 150
Right,
spots.
but little
We
Stanton.
need,
There's
we need a plan of how
Look
we
at my
mitigate that, and we're
Is it
looking for
there?
direction from the
So this is
board.
EPS?
You know, I
This is the
agree with
PISD.
Mr. Uxer that we need to throw that into the mix.
Sure,
You know,
absolutely.
what will EPISD charge? You know, and can you ask them to clean that empty lot across there? It's really dirty.
In addition
An
to,
empty lot would be great, it'd be awesome if we didn't have to pay anything.
No,
The-
it's-
the
we can't
only-
park on it.
I do know that EPISD, UHL is actually doing the work on it, so they might even break ground, but I'll verify that.
They have 250 parking spaces there?
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, surely they're not gonna use them all. there's no one there during the construction. But anyway, I mean, just throw in.
Sure,
that
no,
to
no,
the
absolutely,
mix and see
absolutely,
what that
we'll definitely
costs
look into
also.
that, yeah.
Our intent to presenting these was, again, board members might have contacts with either or of the religious institutions, and so we wanted to start bringing it to your attention in case that there is a connection. But we also can do more.
So do we believe, gentlemen, that E and F, those options, are those walkable, or are we still looking at a shuttle for students? From my perspective, Stanton and Dew would require a shuttle. The students may choose to walk, but I would prefer if the college provided a shuttle just based on the amount of
And then we're
traffic.
offering a
Is that
shuttle.
liability purposes?
Trying to
Is that what you think
mitigate
about?
the liability, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. So that would have to go into the cost as well.
If people can't walk, I understand those that are not capable of walking for whatever reasons, but I mean, they can't cross the street with the
What about
street
night
line?
classes though?
They could.
You wouldn't need the 5 day classes.
But the parking lot be an issue.
Yeah, let's cross that out also, the Stanton building and then, the other, just look at all the options.
Okay.
Where's
Very close to the
KTSM?
The bottom.
I mean, for that for that, I might as well throw in the Holocaust Museum. I mean, they have parking spots.
We're gonna park in front of your house.
My old house,
We're gonna have all our students park at
in front of the
Sunset Heights.
congressman's house, Beto O'Rourke's house. That's all.
I think it's options that we have to consider. I certainly
Absolutely.
appreciate the
Yeah.
efforts.
So I have a question to clarify our path here. Are
That's right
you,
across the
are
street.
you allowing us to go and talk to the folks?
Absolutely, yeah.
To try to see if there's a negotiation option here?
Yes, sir.
Or-
Are you asking for that?
Yes.
Well, we would like to, if you allow us to, or if that's something that somebody from your organization wants to do.
Absolutely, I think we would direct you to,
Okay.
please,
Very good.
bring us some numbers and see
Sure.
what's gonna cost us, if it's available, if it's not,
Sure.
it may not even be available.
KTSM is deep.
And what the Holocaust Museum is.
Across the street.
Very good. All right.
And we don't know if they're gonna be out.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the
That's
other, the other
exactly
thing is,
right.
you know, yeah, we need to put a budget together for, what if they're not out by April? We need to have that plan B also. How many spaces, 75?
77.
And preferably, because we're talking how long would we need the temporary spacing or temporary parking spot?
20 months.
Two years?
No, is it 2 years? Yeah.
A year and a half?
It is 2
And
years.
2
Yeah,
years.
with the day,
At
yeah.
least 2 years, so, I mean, well, you know, I mean, I would prefer that we wouldn't have to spend money repaving anything. Seems kind of silly, but.
But even if they late moving out of KTSM, they will be moving.
Yes.
Something short, so maybe sort of
Stop there.
But I hate to come back to it, but sometime, a long time ago, like I drove, and there was a statement here that the current car parking garage was full, and I drove through several times, and I guess I'll have to choose those several times I went through the existing parking garage. You know, I happened to just be forced to choose that when it wasn't full.
There are times when it's not. It's usually full in the very early morning and early afternoon. And other than that, there's a lot of fluctuation. But nights, I wouldn't see being that full.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
Between the parking garage and the other lots that we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just times that have popular classes.
Very good.
You know, maybe when your team talks to E EPISD, you can also ask him about the Hotel Duke lot also. And then are there any requirements for us, like gravel or?
The city had allowed us to use gravel at one time. The last word we got from them is they shut us down because they wanted it paved
They
before
want
they
it
allowed us to
paved?
use it.
Okay.
They wouldn't
But
allow,
that-
they
that
wouldn't
would
allow
change.
caliche. They wouldn't allow caliche? Used to have caliche lots all the
This
time.
is West Texas going on.
And we used to go out in South Texas too. I remember, that's why I couldn't remember on the Dew property, I remember someone had asked if they could park on it when we owned it, and the city said only if we did. met certain requirements.
Okay, what else we
Very
have?
good. Just for Ms. Solis's benefit, I've already reported on this, but I want you to be aware that the competitive sale proposals did come in for Rio Grande, they're very high. And we're gonna wait till the committee meets, and then we're gonna devise a strategy out to make up the difference, and we'll come back to the next board meeting prepared. Pretty high.
I move
Yes.
that we move on.
Yes, yes, I was counting on 2 million, and it's certainly more than that. Yeah.
That's,
So-
but you're gonna come back with
Yes, sir.
an action plan.
Yes, sir.
and
When
actions.
will we know that, by the next facilities meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Now, this is a
This is an
action item, front end revision. So this is, the way this project started, they had this is what it was originally presented. Because of budget concerns, we had to come back and streamline a little bit and make it a quote-unquote simpler facade. Due to the fact that this project was $300,000 under budget, and the cost, 304 to 69, and so we do have the funds. Right now, we're estimating $154,000 with a 10% contingency, paying for the architect's design. So we actually recommending that you go ahead and accept this, because this was part of the original thing. But we obviously need your authorization to do that. Another item, though, that you need to be aware of, albeit I honestly don't think it'll impact that much, is the fact that it will delay construction for about 30 days.
Why
But-
no, because it was already there before.
well, but it wasn't part of the construction drawings. See, we eliminated this one before we put the construction. So the construction documents actually had this one, yes. So now, we don't even.
Are they gonna raise them, is their price gonna go up then, because now we're giving them a different?
Yes, and they'll be by that amount well, actually, it will be more like about $130,000, because we still have to pay for the architect's fees.
So really, even though it's 300 plus less, we're only gonna realize to us maybe a neighborhood of a little over 100K. 130K of actual.
150.
150, yeah.
Less architect's fees.
No, it includes the architect's fees. So, so what we're asking is that you could.
You take 6 million and subtract 150.
5.9.
And I guess you might want to explain that the reason that we recommend this is because this is the campus recommendation.
Yes, obviously the campus wants this, and they wanted it from day one. This wasn't the only reason is as we got budgets and estimates coming in, we're over, so we need to streamline this entrance. And now that did not materialize, we're basically going back and asking for your permission.
How much are we talking about?
About 160 total.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna give them 160.
Yes, sir.
60,000, do what you can, and then we'll see the.
Yeah, basically $160,000 ought to get you
No, it's okay.
that.
So just put it,
Uh-huh.
if we had just stuck with that, we wouldn't be behind schedule, and we wouldn't, it
That's
wouldn't
true.
cost us an additional 160,000.
No, it would cost you additional 160,000. It's just you wouldn't be behind, because then it would have been part of the project, and we wouldn't have to stop waiting to get the steel ordered.
Okay, and just to clarify, the cost that we're paying architects again, is they're not going, it's to do additional work that's different from the design, because they already did
Right,
that
they-
design,
they-
that should be
right.
already like saved away somewhere.
Right.
And then, right,
I
and
can
then.
answer that question. I'm sorry. They did the design development up to a point, but it wasn't construction documents. So they took that to about DD, they didn't actually sit there and detail the steel and everything. So
Okay,
they
so
did.
that's what we're paying.
That's what we're paying for that look at, yeah.
Just wanna make sure
Good
it's
question.
different work instead of.
Yeah, oh, it is, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the action item, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so,
I made a motion.
okay, Ms. Solis made a motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Questions? Motion passes.
And that's it.
Wow.
for this one. Yeah.
Nothing juicy.
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm gonna, ask them to go into construction, into, executive for just a few minutes.
Bring our hard hat.
Ms. Hageman, please, Josette, please, Mr. Smith, Mr. Gallardo.
How about the,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, yours was the first one to come back. And I forwarded it.
You all better, yeah, please.
I'm sorry?
Can we call in executive?
We stay. Okay.
Is it turn to executive at the regular meeting?
No, it's a different one.
Charlie, are you on still? Time is 4:51, the board will now go into executive session. And at any time during the meeting, the board of trustees may conduct an executive session. Pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code for one or more politics, one constitution, legal advice or constitution, for any purpose authorized by law, discussion about the value or transfer of property, discussion about a suspected gift or donation, consideration of specific personnel matters, discussion about security, personnel or devices, or discussion of certain security matters.
Yeah, no, I
Board
just
may
asked
also
her,
announce
she
that we're
said,
going to executive session with any item listed on this agenda for subject matter considered for a closed session. By provisions of chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, any vote regarding these items shall be taken in open session. The time is 5:03 PM. The Board of Trustees have reconvened in regular session.
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.